Alright, guys. It is Thursday, April 8th, 2021 at 8:07 p.m. Alright, let's take a look at these stories. We have first, very important, for St. Vincent's, an island in the Caribbean. Residents prepare for possible evacuation as St. Vincent's La Soufriere volcano heats up. Emergency management services say that there's a substantial prospect of disaster. So heads up for St. Vincent, the people of St. Vincent and the island. It says the volcano crater of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, La Soufriere, is in dormant times. This is an older picture, but it says a disaster alert has been issued for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a result of heightened activity in Le Soufriere volcano in the north of the island of St. Vincent at its highest point. Categorized as an active volcano, Le Soufriere's conical shape has been built up by layers upon layers of hardened lava, and now, with the alert level having been elevated to orange, the third highest of four levels, residents have been informed of the possibility of evacuation. An orange level alert suggests elevated seismic activity, with possible eruptions occurring with less than a day's warning. So, warning for you people of St. Vincent's, please, excuse me, St. Vincent's La Soufriere volcano is active. Warning for you guys in that region, people traveling to that region, please be aware. It says the National Emergency Management Council has been activated as our country prepares for a possible disaster involving La Soufriere volcano. The alert level remains orange, but we must be prepared in an event that evacuation order is issued. So, some areas directly surrounding the volcano have already begun to feel its effects. A swarm of volcano tectonic earthquakes at the Le Soufriere volcano has begun this morning before 7 a.m. Several are strong enough to be felt by communities at the flanks of the volcano. We have had reports of earthquakes being felt in Fancy and Sandy Bay. Let's take a close-up look at this image. Let's see if I can open this app that makes sure that I zoom in. Alright, look at that. Look at the lava and the smoke and evaporation coming off the volcano. Who knows if it's sulfur or whatever else comes out of a volcano. But that's pretty much what's happening April 5th, 2021. That's the when that image was taken. It says Trinidad and Tobago based journalist Wesley Gibbons, who has worked extensively throughout the region, shared on Twitter. Residents near La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent have been asked to prepare for evacuation at short notice should current conditions escalate. There have recently been numerous earthquake swarms, and today an increase in steaming and smoking from the volcano. So that's April 8th. That is today. Warnings going up there. It says the popular microblogging platform in this channel, through which the Seismic Research Center at University of the West Indies and St. Vincent's National Emergency Management have been posting regular updates. Substantial prospect of disaster level 3 declared by Prime Minister. Nemo Boss tells residents to be ready, get your things in order. They should be getting ready to possibly move and evacuate. Says both official sources, like the social media users, have been posting photos of the videos and volcanoes rumblings. They're showing here today early morning view of La Soufriere volcano from the Belmont Obs. It says the white low-lying cloud cover over the volcano and partly over the sea is due to sustained period of volcanic gases that have been emitted from the dome, which is carried westward by the winds. So as you see here, excuse me, sorry about that. So as you see here, there's smoke coming from the volcano, and those gases are being carried westward over the island. It says prayers for the Caribbean brothers and sisters in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where Soufriere Hills volcano is rumbling and spewing. And this is a post by Marcia Forbes, and they're showing the volcano there spewing. Let's see if we can open this. If we can open this post. Look at that. Look at the volcano spewing smoke. Let's see if we can open it more. The volcano spewing smoke. So the people of St. Vincent, please be aware that this is escalating very, very quickly. That is today, the 8th. So prayers up for the people of St. Vincent. Let's take a look at the map. This is what St. Vincent's Island looks like. And it is over here in the Atlantic, above South America, over here on the right hand side. You can see my mouse. Let's see if I can get a drawing tool. It is on this side over here. You can see the smaller islands on the right hand side, below the Puerto Rico Dominican islands, on the right hand side of the Antilles, above South America. So heads up for the people of St. Vincent. Alright, next, let's move on to the next stories. We got Yamiche Alicenador. President Biden calls on Congress to enact a number of gun reforms, including a ban on assault weapons, eliminate gun manufacturer immunity, require background checks for guns brought at gun shows or bought at gun shows, close Charleston loophole, and reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act. So that's what yesterday I had warned that President Biden was calling to possibly pass some laws or possibly sign some executive orders, but this is what he was talking about, the possibility of banning assault weapons and other things that have to do with gun laws. So I'll leave this tweet in my Twitter page so you guys can scroll through and follow it. I'll leave the link to my Twitter page, which I share news every day and information if you guys feel like catching up on it. Next, the Schumann Resonance. We have Schumann Resonance live 13 minutes ago. This is the frequency of the planet. This is the energy that's being emitted on our planet right now. You see this high white band here. That's high energy, either from the space around us, the sun either emitting CMEs or lightning being affected around the planet. There's high frequency or high vibration around the planet, and that affects people, just like the moon affects people's moods and can rise the tides. The frequency of the planet can affect people and the things around it. Alright, next, I had just talked about it. I'll talk about it again. It says Disclosed TV, Caribbean island of St. Vincent has declared a red alert as seismologists warned that the Lucifer volcano has shown signs of an imminent eruption. Evacuations have been ordered. This is 35 minutes ago on Twitter, so I'll leave the link for you guys to follow that. Also, from All Quakes in Mexico, had a 4.1 earthquake 150 kilometers southeast of Salina Cruz in Mexico. So that was 28 minutes ago. Alright, also, a monster hailer, supercell, is heading east-southeast in the general direction of Waco, Texas. That was 1 hour ago. Hail over 2 inches in diameter, very possible with this dangerous storm. Keep an eye on this in Waco, Texas. Tracking Radar Omega. This is from Reed Timmer. So heads up to the people of Waco. Also from West Hohenstein, there's about 70, 80 degrees, 77, 79 degrees in central North Carolina. Alright, let's see what else. From Sky News, ice surrounding Antarctica could be a risk of collapsing if global temperatures increase by 4 Celsius, experts warn. Alright, also from The Sun, we have the bus being firebombed and police attacked during the latest night of violence in Belfast. So people in Belfast have been getting rowdy, throwing firebombs, lighting things on fire. So there's been a lot of chaos going on there in Belfast. Alright guys, also an hour ago, there was a 2.3 earthquake in Croatia. And then from the Peaceful Soul, there's this spooky storm, as you see here, with these creepy clouds. I just wanted to share that. It just reminds me of the possibility of Jesus Christ coming at any time. You never know when he's coming. They always say that he could come in the clouds at any time. That's what it reminds me of when I see spooky clouds like that, because you never know when that could happen. Alright, next, from All Quakes, earthquake, a 3.5 in Dominican Republic about an hour ago. Also from Fox 4 News, a new deadline is fast approaching for Texas vehicle registrations and driver's license renewals. Drivers have less than a week to comply, so if you live in Texas, heads up there. Alright, let's see what else we have here. I think this is the last story that I'm going to cover. Japan says sorry, but we have to dump this Fukushima radioactive water into the ocean. So Japan's saying sorry, you have to dump it in the ocean. So heads up for the people that live in the area of Japan or anywhere near Japan, that water is going to affect a lot of stuff. It's going to be all over the place, is going to affect a lot of things. It says Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga says the government has put off figuring out what to do with all of the contaminated water building up at the destroyed Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant for long enough, and it's time to start dumping it into the ocean. That's what he said. So it says here, Suga's hand is forced given that the plant will soon run out of space to store the contaminated groundwater seeping into the facility, and is framing the controversial plan to release the water in the Pacific Ocean as unavoidable. Japanese officials have been debating how to best contain the radioactive water at the Fukushima plant for years, but that plan seems to have struck to purify the water the best as possible, dilute the radioactive tritium that persists ever after the cleaning process, and to dump it over the course of 30 years. What to do with the treated water is a task that the government can no longer put off without setting a policy. Japanese Trade Minister Hiroshi Kojima told reporters on Wednesday. But outside the government's halls, the plan is still considerably unpopular, especially among fishers who are concerned they will no longer want to buy fish caught in radioactive waters. Reasonably so, since 15 countries and regions still restrict imports from Fukushima Prefecture. Suga is expected to make a formal decision of the release next Tuesday. If the government proceeds, the plan will begin to dilute tritium down to 2.5% of the maximum concentration allowed by national standards before dumping it out. It means Japanese officials say the water won't be dangerous to people, though only time will tell how much people trust it. So that's the end of that story here in this article by strangesounds.com. I'll leave the link to the article if you feel like checking it out. But this is pretty spooky stuff. Radioactive water left into the ocean that will affect not just Japan. People think, oh, it's just going to be in Japan. No, that affects all of the ocean. Because last time when Fukushima first started leaking radiation, it was measured and was tested. It could reach the waters of California. So heads up for people in California and anybody in the Pacific near Japan that has to fish close to that region. So pray for the people in Japan and California, anywhere that has to do with that water. Please pray for the people of St. Vincent having to deal with that volcano in the Caribbean, and hopefully no more volcanoes come up in the Caribbean. But just heads up, if anything else comes up, I'll cover it and make a video on it. Alright guys, hit like and subscribe for more news, and see you guys next time. God bless you guys.